Hey, good morning, my beautiful people. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Success Show. I am your host, ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, and we are getting this thing on the road, man. We are getting into the law of the rubber band. So as you may know, we're going through the 15 laws of invaluable growth by John C. Maxwell, and we're now into law number 10. Law number 10. So we've been tracking along this for 9 weeks. We're in our 10th week of going through this book. We started with the law of intentionality, which basically says that you want to know where you want to go. Growth doesn't just happen. It happens on purpose. The law of awareness was law number 2. Be aware of your surroundings and know people that are around you that can actually help move you up. Mentors, coaches, accountability partners. Law number 3 is law of the mirror. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Hopefully you see awesome. Hopefully you see great. Law number 4 is law of reflection. You want to take a moment to pause throughout your day to capture moments. Learning to pause allows growth to catch up with you. Law number 5 is the law of consistency. Consistent action breeds success. Motivation may get you going, but it's discipline that keeps you growing. Law number 6 is the law of environment. Growth thrives in conducive surroundings. We said it like this: if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to find a new room. If you're at the ceiling or at the top of your organization, you can only go one place, and that's down. So you got to find other ways, other avenues, other environments to put yourself in, to challenge yourself, to dare yourself to grow, and to give yourself the opportunity for growth in a new environment. Law of design is to maximize growth. You want to develop strategies. You want to have systems and strategies in place that you can repeat on a regular basis, like coming to this show, that's going to dare you to grow. Law number 8 is law of pain. How do you act in bad experiences? How do you respond to pain? It says that when tough gets going, or when going gets tough, the tough gets going. And so hopefully you're a person that responds well when you have some bad experiences. And this actually leads to great growth when you can actually overcome. Law number 9 is law of the ladder. We talked about that last week. That character growth determines the height of your personal growth. As you focus more on developing your inside, then the outside will follow. Now we're into the law of the rubber band. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, guys, that growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. Growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. And so we're going to be talking about tension today, stretching yourself, getting outside of your comfort zone. We got our co-host here today. Pat is in the building. How are you today, sir?
Better than phenomenal.
Better than phenomenal. Fantastic, man. So we had a wonderful time last couple of days. Last night we did a first-time homebuyer seminar and also did some technical analysis, some chart reading. So we had a wonderful time last night doing some teaching and some class. I got another class tonight to be teaching the kids. So I'm absolutely stoked and ready to rock and roll. And so we're getting into the law of the rubber band. So over the next 3 days, guys, we're going to be going through this. And it's really the next 2 days, we're going to be talking about how the benefits of tension, the benefits of stretching yourself. So as you think about a rubber band, one of the first things that came up is that a rubber band is only useful when it's being stretched. It's only useful when it's being stretched. And what John would contend is that it's the very same thing for us. Like we're at our best when we are being stretched, when we are experiencing new things, when we are challenging ourselves, when we are getting outside of our comfort zone. So the law of the rubber band is all about having some form of tension in your life that will continue to allow you to stretch, to always have some type of momentum or some progress and stretching yourself to new heights. And it really starts talking about, when we talk about stretch, guys, what we're saying is that we've come to understand that we're only using so much of our potential. We're only using so much of our potential. So are you willing to stretch yourself? Is that you, Pat? Or is that me? We having some audio problems. Yeah. Nope.
We can't hear you.
I don't know what you said, but I read the list. I think you'll be right back. All right. So what we're talking about is we understand that we're only using so much of our potential as human beings, so much of our potential mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And so in order for you to start to tap into more of your potential, you got to stretch yourself outside of your comfort zone, because whatever you have been doing has brought you up to this point. And so if you want to grow, if you want to progress, if you want to make traction, you're actually going to have to stretch yourself into new environments, new situations, new challenges. And that's all about what growth is. I mean, in order for a seed to actually start to mature, it's got to actually break the shell. And so what we're saying is you may need to break the shell in your own life so that you can start to grow. Hey, Nelson, how are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you, Evan?
I'm doing well, sir. Thanks so much for joining.
No problem. So I wanted to update you on something that we talked about yesterday about this broadcaster who was let go. I told you I decided I was thinking about doing something about it.
Yeah.
We actually wanted to make sure that she was okay with it first.
Yeah.
Which we did. Started a petition yesterday to save her job. I've got over 5,000 signatures in less than 24 hours.
Look at that.
Viewers who are so angry with what this particular station has done. And it just keeps growing. And the comments that are coming in are just like unbelievable. It's a love fest. It's a pouring out of love. And I'm overwhelmed that it's just gone absolutely wild. I need thousands and thousands of more signatures to make a difference. But I mean, in less than 24 hours, I've got 5,000 signatures, and it's just amazing. So that's how I've stretched myself a bit. I went out of my comfort zone and did something I've never done before, it's really gratifying.
Absolutely, man. You talked about it yesterday. Now you're starting to see some success. So that's the question that goes out to all you guys that are watching, that may be on the sidelines today. When's the last time that you stretched yourself? When's the last time you did something different? When's the last time you said, you know what, I'm going to try this new thing, and you put some tension on yourself in order to perform? What's that thing for you? How long has it been since you've done something different to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone in order for you to grow? And then, of course, you're probably going to have some results, something to say as far as the results are concerned. But when's the last time you did something new? Hey, Pat, what's going on? Thanks so much for joining, man. Any comments?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. We'll start there. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think the part of the principle that we're trying to get out of this chapter is we need to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because only when you're out of your comfort zone do you actually take things to the next level and you actually grow. I mean, if you've ever looked at a lobster, and they come in different sizes, but a lobster has a very hard exterior shell. In other words, that exterior shell doesn't grow. The lobster grows to the point of being uncomfortable, to a point of stress, and it has to release that shell and start growing a new one. And at what point do we say this isn't enough anymore? I'm going to let go of what I have and make room for the new. Yeah. And sometimes that means let it go with something else.
Yeah, and what you're speaking on, Pat, is like there are some good stresses in your life. You know what I mean? Like, whenever I think sometimes when we hear the word stress, we always think it's something bad. And it's not always something bad when you talk about the word stress, because if you're intentionally putting yourself through something to stretch yourself, then there's going to be a good stress there. And it's just pushing you and moving you forward. Stress doesn't always have to be a bad thing. As we've come to define it here in our society, it actually could be a good thing that's pushing you forward. And I would say this, that if you don't put yourself in situations that you're going to challenge yourself to grow, then you'll have the bad stress come on in your life, because life itself wants you to grow. I mean, that's the whole point of life, is progress and growth. Go ahead, Pat.
Well, how do they check your health? They put you on a stress test. In order for them to check whether or not your heart is healthy and your body is healthy, they put you on a treadmill and they do a stress test, right? So one of the checks, if you are healthy, is the test. And the test is, can you handle a certain amount of stress and handle it and be safe and healthy, and don't let it be a negative in your life. There's a saying that says, in all things be thankful. It's like, well, how can I be thankful when all this is happening? Well, what are you going to learn from this? Maybe there's something you need to learn from this stress, and it'll take you to where you need to be. It'll take you to the next level. I mean, we've all learned lessons after great losses or great failures. And that's where you go. That's where you grow.
Yeah, so Rebel said that she's doing it now. So, Rebel, you're doing something outside of your comfort zone. She said she's doing the 22 push-ups for 22 days for veterans. So are you saying, Rebel, I need to do 22 push-ups for the next 22 days? I can join in on this. So it said approximately 22 vets commit suicide daily. So doing the push-ups, recording, and posting, check out hashtag 22kill to participate. All right. So if I put in hashtag 22kill, is that going to take me somewhere? Is that like a Twitter hashtag or something, or is that let me put it in Twitter and see what I come up with. Hashtag 22kill better take me somewhere. Let me lead me astray. Okay, all right, hold on. All right, so this Texas Tech Athletic supports the nation's military. Okay, cool. All right, found it. Some Twitter stuff. So I'm doing some 22 push-ups for veterans. All right, gotcha. I got it. So Rebel, are you doing 22 push-ups today? Are you doing it? Or are you just promoting it? Like, are you gonna do the push-ups? So cool, man. So Adrian, I see that you're here as well. I don't know if you're able to type, and I know sometimes phones or whatever. What's the last thing that you've done outside of your comfort zone? The law of the rubber band. Basically, again, rubber bands are only useful when they are stretched. And John Maxwell would say that we as human beings are the same. When we stretch ourselves, we find ourselves going to new heights, things that we had never experienced before. So day 5, Rebel. Okay, so you did 22. Have you already done your 22 push-ups today? Or are you going to do them later on? All right, I can get on with this. I got to start. So that's going to take me to the end of the month. All right, I can do this. I can do 22 push-ups today. Now I'm probably going to do like 10, 10, and 2.
We want to see it. We want to see you. We want to see you do it on camera, Evan.
Oh, it's 4 a.m. there. Okay, yeah, you're up here early. Hey, I got to build myself up to 22 push-ups. I can probably do about 18.
Let's see. Go for it right now. Go for it.
Oh no, not right now, man. No, not while the kids are watching. But yeah, so we're talking about the law of the rubber band, man. So it's all about stretching yourself, and so so really, like you said, Nelson, you did something. You came across something yesterday. You weren't a person that just was looking at it and said you're going to talk about it, but you decided to actually do something.
Well, the thing about it was, there was, on Facebook, on the station's Facebook page and on her personal page, there was just so many people reaching out with such great comments, but nobody was doing anything. And so I said to my client on Sunday night, I said, and who's very good friends with her, I said, let's do something about this. Let's start a petition. He said, I'm in, let's go for it. And then he said yesterday morning, I think I better get her permission to make sure she still wants that job back. And about an hour or so later, she confirmed that she did. And I made it go live at 10:40 a.m. yesterday. And right now we've got over 5,000. Yeah, I did something about it. We've got over 5,000 signatures. People who want her back on the show. And I'm hoping that I get 10 or 15 or 20,000 signatures, because at that point that really says something. Then I will find out who the signatures need to go to, and I will print the list, and I will make sure that they gets into the right hands, because same thing happened to another radio personality in my market in 2004, owned by the same company. They booted her out because they wanted to go for a younger audience. And I think I told this story yesterday. She had a huge following, and she's now back at the same station. 10 year. They brought her back 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, because she was at a rival station, and the ratings went over the top and beat beat her former station, and they realized they had made a mistake, that they better bring her back, and they did. So the public, there is something to be said about people speaking out to do something about something. And in that case, many, many years ago, it made a difference, and I'm hoping it makes a difference now.
Absolutely, man. Go ahead. Go ahead, Pat.
Go ahead.
There's a story I kind of use when I'm trying to teach a lesson there. And it's like, originally I'm from the northeast part of the country, up in New York. And up there we have subways. And during rush hour, we have very crowded subways, right? They've never even seen a train, I don't think, in Oklahoma. But anyhow, there was a very, very busy morning, and I'm sitting on this subway, and it is packed. I mean, just the doors open, and it's amazing. More people shove in, right? And it's literally just overflowing. And this woman walks in, and she's holding a baby. She looks like she's got to be 11 months pregnant, and she's dragging a toddler along, holding her pants leg. And nobody got up to give her a seat. And I sat there in total amazement. And that's the problem in our society, is we see the problem and we sit there and don't do anything about it. And it's kind of a funny way of saying it, but the reality is, if you are not working on the solution,
that's why I decided I needed to do something about this. In fact, I'll tell you, I debated whether or not to reach out to the show's hosts by Twitter last night to let them know what we were doing, and I did. And I actually got a private message back from the weatherman saying, "Good for you. We're all very sad about this. It took us all by surprise. It shows how much you care, and just good for you." And I never expected that he would maybe send me a message. I figured that the hosts of the show are still employees of the company. Therefore, they're if they say anything to anybody on any platform, they're going to be watched, because they don't want to lose their job. What gets me is they've been working with her for many, many, many years. Why the other co-hosts didn't take a stand on her behalf boggles my mind.
Well, you just kind of said it. They work about their jobs.
Yeah.
They got jobs. They got families to feed as well, man. So, but yeah, it's good. It's good to step out and do something different and try something new, and especially when you see a problem, to get out and try to solve it. And so, what we're talking about is a series of stretches, man. And the quote came in and said that God's gift to us is potential. Our gift to God is developing it. And I think, wasted potential has got to be one of the worst things that we come across in life, man. When we see so much potential in people, so much potential in ourselves, so much potential in our children, so much potential that is wasted. I would say, one, because of fear, two, because of lack of guidance, 3, bad decisions. It's things that happen in life, man. And you're like, man, that person, that individual, these people that we come across, they have so much potential. And the reality is, everyone has so much potential.
So
everyone has so much potential. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say, I'm going to put the link, if you don't mind. Let me ask you first, are you okay if I put the link to the petition in the chat box?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I've just stuck it in. So if anybody wants to see what I'm doing to try and help this lady, that's the link.
All right, fantastic. We've got the petition out to try and get someone back, their job back, who's been a vital part of the community for, I think, 30 plus years or something like that.
She actually, that's the whole thing about what she was doing. 23 years, and her assignment was to go somewhere new every single morning, live on location between 6:30 and 9 a.m. And she would have 6 cut-ins during the show that lasted about 3 or 4 minutes. And she was at a new location every single morning, somewhere fun. And,
showing people about the city itself. Yeah, absolutely.
She was all over the city.
So yeah, man. So stretch yourself today, guys. Ask yourself this: where is it that you find yourself? And let's have a real conversation, man. Let's keep it real. It's not easy to be great, guys. It's not easy to be great. It's not easy to be different. It's not easy to step out of your comfort zone. I mean, it's so much easier to just lay in a bed all day. You know, it's so much easier to sleep an extra hour. It's so much easier to do what everyone else is doing, watching TV or whatever the case may be. But it's the truly great ones that's going to say, you know what, I'm going to be different. I'm going to put in that extra hour of work or commitment or effort. I'm going to go the extra mile because, quite honestly, it's worth it. It's worth it for your dreams. It's worth it for yourself. It's worth it to your family. It's worth it to the community for you to get out and do the extra. And that's what it really comes down to. And when we get into this benefits attention, there's going to be this area that I'm going to read as it relates to being average. And I'll talk about that in just a second, man. But, you know, where is it in your life that you see that you have more potential, that you just haven't given it the effort? You really haven't pushed yourself in there. I mean, you see it, you know it. You probably talk about it every day, about what you're going to do, what you should do. All of this stuff, but where's that area for you where you know, I know this is where I need to advance in my life, and for some reason, you haven't mustered up the energy or the courage to put yourself in an uncomfortable position so that you can grow. I think everybody has it, and so Reverend says it's not easy to be great. People would try to drag you down. Listen to your supporters, not your detractors. A good one, Reverend. Absolutely. Pat, you got anything to add? And I'm going to read this thing that goes, we'll talk about average in a second.
Yeah, we all have heard about these people who are instant successes, you know, and when you actually look at their story, their actual real story, they have been working their trade, their art for years. They're just finally recognized. The reality is they've been polishing their procedures or whatever they do for a lifetime. You know, you see them on shows like The Voice or American Idol and stuff like that, and it's like they become instant success. But it wasn't an instant success. It was a lifelong project. You know, it's something they've worked on and gotten better at over time. So a lot of times people's like, you know, I've tried that and it didn't work. You tried it for how long? You know, you know, it's not, this life is not something you try once and you stop. You know, and yeah, you're going to hit some resistance. Like I said, you're going to hit some tension. You're going to hit some stress, and you keep going. I mean, and part of the problem is it does take focus as long as it takes. You focus as long as it takes. You keep going. And sometimes what we all need is a good pep talk, you know, and that's kind of why we kind of meet up here in the morning, is to get our day started right, because instant successes happen after years of effort.
Years of effort. Absolutely, man. And so I wanted to read this, guys, because as I was going through this chapter, man, it's really stuck out. And it talked about that too many people are willing to settle for average in life. And so there's this description written by Edmund Gaudet as he talks about this average life. So it says, average is what failures claim to be when their family and friends ask them why they are not more successful. Average is the top of the bottom, the best of the worst, the bottom of the top, or the worst of the best. Which of these are you? Average means being run-of-the-mill, mediocre, insignificant, and also ran a non-entity. He said being average is the laziest person's cop-out. It's lacking the guts to take a stand in life. It's living by default. Being average is to take up space for no purpose, to take the trip through life but never to pay the fare, to return no interest for God's investment in you. Average. Being average is to pass one's life away with time rather than pass one's time away with life. It's to kill time rather than to work it to death. To be average is to be forgotten once you pass from this life. The successful are remembered for their contributions. The failures are remembered because they tried, but the average, the silent majority, is just forgotten. To be average is to commit the greatest crime one can against oneself, humanity, and one's God. The saddest epitaph is that here lies Mr. and Mrs. Average. Here lies the remains of what might have been. except for their belief that they were only average.
Wow.
Average.
That is so powerful.
Yeah. And especially it's powerful, that last line, except for their belief. Because we do what we believe. And if you believe you're average, then that's where you'll be. And if you believe you're unlimited, God doesn't make any junk. If you believe you are what you're capable of doing, and you're capable of so much more than we've ever done, then you will start acting based on your belief. I mean, to me, the closing line there, because except for their belief. So who decides what you believe in? Did you actively pick what you believed in? Or is that something that you just absorbed over your childhood that you're stuck with now? And the reality is you're not stuck with it. You can decide today to believe in something else. You can decide right now to believe that you are better, that you can be better, that you can do better, that you will have better. You decide your beliefs.
What do you believe, man? So here's the deal. Street Dog said, if everyone wants to be great, though, wouldn't everyone be average? And Revel said, if never happened. So it's a moot point. Yeah, it's actually a moot point. Like, we know that there's only a certain select few of people who are going to decide to be great. It would be great if everyone decided to be great, but we know that's not going to happen. Just the same way that we know that everyone won't read the book, everyone won't come to the show, everyone won't take the class, everyone won't do the workshop, everyone won't do the seminar, everyone won't read the book. We know that everyone won't do it.
And it's not want. It's not whether or not they want it. It's whether or not they believe it, and if they believe it because faith has works. If you truly believe in something, you truly have faith in something, you're going to go out and make it happen. You're going to do the work. How many people are not doing the work?
Change each and every day, and nothing changes if nothing changes. And so what we're talking about, guys, is stretching yourself. I mean, really, really digging deep into, that you have the potential, but are you putting in the effort to actually uncover and experience the potential that is inside of you? I mean, how many of you guys know that you got some great products and services that you can offer to the community? That you got a business in you. You got a book in you. You got a song in you. You got some other things to uncover in your life. And here's my question. How many days are going to continue to pass by before you decide to tap into your very own potential? How many days are going to go by before you decide that you're going to tap into your very own potential? You have it in you, but for some reason, you're just letting procrastination happen to your very own potential to bring about your own greatness, your own contribution to it. And matter of fact, I would say you're robbing the world of your greatness by choosing to not tap into your very own potential. You're robbing the world. We need your greatness. It's going to impact my life. You being great will impact my life, because I know you got something great in you that's going to make my life better, easier, or something it's going to do for my life. It's going to make a contribution and an impact. It's going to actually drop a deposit or an investment in my life by you deciding to be great. Nelson.
I was just going to say, you were talking about procrastination before, and to me, procrastination is an absolute waste of energy. It doesn't get you any further along the road from what point you're at to what point you need to get to. Just like what I did yesterday. I didn't procrastinate about it. I did something about it. So I find that that's a waste of energy. I don't like to procrastinate. I like to.
So here's my question for everyone: What gets you to move?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know. What actually gets you to move? Because Nelson's talking about something, but he has something that pricked him in his heart to make him move and do something. What moves you? Like what? Not what motivates you. What moves you? I mean, because plenty of people get motivated and still don't move. So what moves you to actually say, you know what? I'm going to make this happen.
Did you ever read the book Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah. pretty awesome book.
I listened. I still got the little him and haw and
I hate it when people say, "Oh, but we always do it that way." So what?
Yeah.
Do it differently. There's other ways of doing things.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to rearrange the room, man.
Oh,
you know,
I like that. Rearrange the room. Oh, we got another one. I got to put it in the chat box. Rearrange the room.
You know, sometimes you just got to move the bed to the other side of the wall. You got to, you know, do your clothes, take your winter clothes or summer clothes. Sometimes you just got to rearrange. You just got to rearrange, man. That's you know. And so what I'm trying to uncover for you guys, and if you guys can, you know, think about this, and even if you don't have an answer right now, is what moves you? What really moves you? Is it that you're moved by someone else's plight?
Yeah.
Like I only move when I see someone else in trouble. You know what I mean? That's what gets me to move. It is the only thing that gets you to move is your children. Is that the only thing that gets you to move? What is it that really gets you to move? Not what motivates you, not necessarily just what inspires you. I'm talking about what gets you to take some action and give it that 10x energy towards your goals, your dreams, your desires, something that you want to accomplish, something that moves you to the point where forget sleep. I'm not sleeping till this get done. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what really moves you? Pat, go ahead.
Well, the movies, The Pink Panther, about a burglar, was actually based on an actual house burglar, and he ends up getting caught eventually and does, you know, decades in jail, and he comes out and actually becomes a productive member of society later, and then is found out who he really is. And they interview him and go, of all the people you robbed from, of all the people you stole all these millions of dollars of jewels from, who did you steal the most from? And he said, myself. You see, instead of stealing from the wealthy and being the powerful, I could have been one of them. And because I took the easy way out, I gave that up. I could have done more. I could have been more. I could have used my talents for good instead of what I did use them for. And, you know, it's a powerful story that, you know, it took his whole life before he realized what he spent his efforts on actually cost him his whole life.
Wow.
I mean, he literally spent most of his adult life in jail because he was so talented, but he didn't use his talents for the benefit of all. He used them for the harm. So usually the one we steal from the most is ourselves. By not using our potential, we are stealing from ourselves. And if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. But someone's stealing from you, and most likely it's you.
And here's a quote that came today, that came last week that just really sticks with me. He says that if you're not where you want to be, if you're not where you want to be today, then that should be motivation enough. If you're not where you want to be, you woke up this morning, you're saying, I'm still not where I want to be, then that should be motivation enough to get you to move. And if every day you wake up and you're like, I'm still not where I want to be, you're going to have a day filled with motivation, a day filled with movement, a day filled with work towards your worthy ideal, which is called progress. And in the book, I was this quote, this scripture just keep coming to me, and all labor there is profit. And so if I'm working and I'm working towards my worthy ideal, I'm making progress towards that thing called success for me, then I know that profit comes if I just continue to work. Where do you want to be is a good question that Rose was asking. Where do you want to be? And so we're really talking about putting some tension into your life, making I don't think uncomfortable will ever get comfortable, but we can get comfortable with the notion that, hey, I can accept or I can appreciate the uncomfortable times of my life because I know that I'm stretching myself, because I'm not going to uncomfortable places because I'm unaware. I'm going to uncomfortable places on purpose in order to stretch myself. I'm going to the place that I really don't want to go. It could be the networking event. It could be the place that you're presenting your business, even though it's going to be uncomfortable. It could be your first public speaking engagement. It could be last night I had a guy that did his first live webinar, uncomfortable. But you know what? That he grew from that. He developed something new, and I can help him develop in this area because he decided to put himself into an uncomfortable position on purpose so that he could grow. And so this show is all about daring you to grow, daring you to be your best self, daring you to join the inspired crowd. And that's why we get together every morning, just to make sure that we start our days off right, or if it's not day for you, wherever you are in this world, that's why we continue to come together. And so next couple of days, we'll be continuing to talk about the law of the rubber band, putting some areas into your life where you are stretching yourself. And it says that life begins at the end of your comfortability. So find a place today where you can be uncomfortable. Maybe you're at a job today and you need to, there's an opportunity for you to do something that you just obviously just wouldn't do. You go ahead and do it because it's going to be an uncomfortable position for you, saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to try this thing new. I don't know what it's going to be for you today, but I think there's going to be an opportunity for you to purposely put yourself into an uncomfortable position, and then you'll find yourself growing from that. Nelson has probably learned a lot through this process just by doing something different. Now he can be a freaking expert in petition writing or something. I don't know. He might be an advocate for a lot of different, who knows what's going to happen in his life, but he put himself in an uncomfortable position, and he's actually developing a new skill that he probably didn't even know that he had.
Right. And I'll tell you, we're going to do something tomorrow too. We've got a sign made up, and we're going to go stand in front of the television station tomorrow morning where the anchors sit in front of a window, and we're going to hold up a sign to bring her back. So I won't be here tomorrow morning. But that's the next thing we're doing to try and make a difference, is to show the audience who will see it on camera when they turn on their TVs tomorrow. Her name is going to be on the banner, so that somebody at the corporate level gets the message that they've made a huge mistake. So that's why I'm taking, I'm going to the next level, taking myself out of the comfort zone again tomorrow on this, taking the next step with it.
Absolutely. Going to the next level, man. So, Pat, you got any last words for the peeps, man?
Love you. We believe you can do it.
Believe you can do it. Do it. Nelson, got any last words for the peeps?
Yeah, go out and do something different. Make a difference. Just make a difference.
Yeah. No, that's right. How many mugs you got? You got a ton of them. Hey, here's the deal, guys. Thanks so much.
I do accept donations.
We're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 30 minutes, man. And sometimes we go a little bit longer. And it's all about growth. It's all about daring you to grow. And I got to ask you this, guys. How many places can you go? Can you connect? How many people can you connect with that's going to dare you to grow? And so when I think about that, that's one of the reasons why each and every day we get up and get on this show, because it's easy to find places and people who are not going to support you in your dreams or your goals, your desires. It's hard to find people who are like, hey, let's get this done. Let's do it. And so that's what we're about. We're all about helping you to grow, helping you to see things differently, challenging you to be your very best self. And so go out today. Be different. Do something different. Put yourself into an uncomfortable position so that you can develop and you can grow some skills that you probably don't even know that you have. Hey, that's our show today. Be wealthy, be healthy, be happy, be of good success, and we're out.